My dad's been preaching since the late 1970s. And he said, John, myself, other preachers, ministers that I knew, none of us could understand how a lot of the things in Daniel and Revelation and 2 Thessalonians 2 could even take place. Like it was like science fiction. He said, like, for instance, it says you can't buy or sell anywhere on the earth unless you bear the mark of the beast. He goes, well, how in the world, we're thinking, would you be able to monitor every single person on the face of the earth? That's impossible. That sounds funny to us now, right? Because of course you can monitor every single human being on the face of the earth. Of course you can. They're doing it right now. They just haven't weaponized it to that point yet. He said, this is my dad. He goes, we didn't have satellites all the way around the earth back then. I mean, you can get a cell signal in Uganda in the middle of nowhere now. Right? I mean, you can talk to anybody anywhere. Mm-hmm. It talks about how the Antichrist can project his message onto the entire earth at the same time. He can basically communicate to the whole planet. I was like, well, how in the world? He said, we're all going, how in the, maybe he's telepathic. My dad said that. We all thought, maybe the Antichrist is telepathic. Maybe he can like get in your head and put thoughts in your head and communicate that way. We just couldn't figure it out. He goes, now we've all got these. We talked earlier about the days of Noah, and that's the way it's going to be in the end. And we talked about in the days of Noah where fallen angels thrown down to the earth, polluted the human race, everybody except Noah and his family, God flooded the earth. And the point of the devil doing that was to try to derail the birth of Christ. That was the point. If we can pollute the entire human race, we messed up the bloodline that will eventually have Jesus Christ being born. That was the plan. God saved Noah, they failed. Noah starts it over, here we go again. Go to the beginning of the New Testament, it shows the entire bloodline of Noah all the way through Jesus Christ, all the way through the end. Beginning of Matthew shows the whole thing. So the question is, if it's going to be like it was in the days of Noah and the devil tried to pollute the whole human race, how's he going to try to do it this time? What's he going to try to do to keep Jesus from coming back where he ultimately loses? What's he going to do? Is he going to try to pollute the human race again? Maybe. How would you do that? I don't know. Tech? Maybe. Again, nobody really knows. These are question marks, but you can read it for yourself and start to put things together. My whole goal is not to convince anybody of anything. My whole goal is to make you think for a minute, go read it for yourself, because if you're alive on this earth when this starts happening and you're a Christian, you need to be able to identify what it is you are seeing.
So are you saying if you don't know what it is,
you will step in the hole? Everybody line up and get your chip. Well, this can't be the mark of the beast. We're all still here. Okay, I'll take my chip. And what does it say about people that take the mark of the beast? If you take anyone who takes the mark of the beast, their name is not written in the Lamb's book of life. That's the book. That's everybody that belongs to Jesus that's going to heaven is in the book, the Lamb's book of life. If you take that, you are not written in the Lamb's book of life. I'd say that's a pretty final move. So can you imagine if you didn't recognize that for what it was because you didn't have the discernment in you? And where does discernment come from? Does it come from you? Where does it come from? The Holy Spirit, right? So if he's not in you, and you're not able to discern that, and you walk right into that wood chipper, well, there you go. People need to think about that, because, I mean, I'm telling you, with AI coming on board like it is right now, we're not that old. Very good chance. If we live out our years like we're supposed to, I think we see it.
I think about it all the time.
I think we're going to see it. And I think that's why you're seeing a revival happen amongst people. I think that's why on my little tiny scale, I get hit with particular songs which allow certain conversations to happen.
Shalom.
I get to sit with guys like you. And
with this lesson, I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakha HaKodash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. Peace and salutation to the elect that sat here labored in all truth and sincerity. To USA Shalom. This is the brother Amon Ariyah from the GMS Charlotte camp, coming back with another Lord willing edifying lesson to feed the elect of the nation of Israel. And in this lesson, I wanted to speak on, all right, pretty much you need to know, all right, what the MOTB is, all right, when this thing is being presented, because this is something that cannot be ignored. All right, you can't try to act like this thing isn't happening before our eyes. All right, because when it's all said and done, if you know what the mark of the beast is, all right, you can prepare yourself for what's to come. All right. Now, the video you just played, or you just heard, this is from the brother. Pull it up real quick. Brother Arrows of Indignation 144. And this video is entitled, "You Better Be Able to Identify When It's Made Mandatory. Listening to the Wrong Guys, You Are Cooked." And that's true, because this video that you heard, all right, you see that these Christians, all right, are beginning to see what the MOTB is, man. So what the hell is wrong with you Israelites out there that's still dancing around this prophetic, situation, man? All right. Hey, all of y'all at some point are going to have to acknowledge that GMS was right, starting with the elders and apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone that have been teaching, the truth of the breakdown of Revelation 13 and 16, man. All right. Because one thing that you people, all right, are beginning to see that, all right, the masses are beginning to see this beast system being set up. All right. And like I said, man, in this video, this is just further proof that people know what's up, man. Now, it was a lot of bones, all right, that was, being said in this video. So, all right, you got to, be able to chew the meat and spit the bones out, all right? But the point that, the guy was speaking on that is true is that, as I said, man, you have to know what the MOTB is, because if you don't, all right, Esau Edom is going to lead you right into that snare, and you people are going to take that chip and be destroyed. All right. Now I just want to get a few scriptures. All right. So this is Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. It says, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand." All right. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua says, "Blessed is he that readeth." All right. So let's go into this word readeth. All right. This is G314. It says, "To distinguish between, to recognize, to know accurately, to acknowledge." All right. And what is the Lord showing us? All right. As far as, the last few prophecies that we need to be on the look out for, man. All right. That major one, all right, is that MOTB, man. All right. The RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, according to Revelation 13 and 16. All right. You camps can no longer avoid this prophecy, man. Okay. Because there's a lot of BS going around of how, these camps are trying to say that this prophecy is everything but what it truly is, man. Okay. And more as we see this AI being pushed, all right, in the forefront, is just showing you that this MOTB system is being set up, all right, for, that mark of the beast to be implemented, all right, and that's coming fast, man, all right. So like you heard the guy say, man, you need to know what it is that you are being presented with, man, because this devil is very crafty as far as how he's presenting his chip, man. All right, let's grab this real quick. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." All right. And this is how, like I said, man, you have to be, completely aware of what the devil is doing, man. All right. As we seen Trump set up this, this government in his second term, man, he is all for forwarding this beast system, man. All right. You see all these technocrats that he has surrounded himself with. All right. Everybody in his cabinet, all right, is pushing forth with this MOTB technology, man. All right. You had RFK come out and talk about within the next few years, he wants all Americans wearing wearables. All right. You had Dr. Oz, come out and promote the MOTB as the new end thing. All right. And Trump is doing nothing but forwarding what Biden began. All right. Because, when Biden was in office, what did he do? He pushed the CHIP Act, man. All right. So you're seeing Trump talking about, pushing, the all the currency digital. That's the first step, because they're getting ready to do away with cash, man. All right. This is why you're seeing everything going digital. All right. So we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, because like I said, he's gonna present this chip as the new way of life. All right. And for those of you that are not, in tune to the spirit and are not realizing what is being presented before you, all right, you're going to be taken in the snare. All right. So this is why to the elect, it says that we're not going to be ignorant to Satan's devices, man. All right. Because what we're reading is directly preparing us for what's coming. All right. This is why it's important for you to be in the spirit, man. All right. To be into this book, because the Lord gave us warning of what was going to happen. All right. Let's get that real quick. Revelation chapter 15 and verse 4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scripture, might have hope." All right. And so the Lord, all right, gave us the vision so that we could be aware of what's going on, man. All right. But at the end of the day, you have to be blessed with the Holy Spirit to be able to see these things, man. Okay. Because if you don't have the Holy Spirit, you're not going to be able to see what the Lord is doing. All right. Let's grab this real quick. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 18. "I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear." And this is what Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is doing, is clothing us so that we're not found, naked in the time of judgment. Okay. And we're being clothed with this wisdom. All right. Like it says in Isaiah 52, man. All right. Awake, Zion, put on the beautiful garments, man. That those beautiful garments is this truth, man. Clothed with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, so that we're not found lacking in these coming times, man. All right. It says, "And anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see." And what's that eye salve, man? This the Spirit of the Lord, man. All right. Let's grab that real quick. This word eye salve, G2854. It says, "Of preparation composed of various materials and used as a remedy for tender." No, that's not what I want. Let's try the root word. Salakia. Thought I had a better definition than this. All right, but the point being, we understand that the eye salve is the Holy Spirit, because without the eye salve, you're not going to be able to see what the prophecies are entailing. And this is why, even though there's a Bible being made available to everybody in the world, not everybody has the ability to go into this book and read it with understanding. All right. Let me get that real quick. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 10. It says, "For the Lord have poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers have he covered." And this is why, all right, before the Lord, set the prophets up in the earth, man, all right, these false prophets were able to get a hold of this book and pretty much, bring forth all type of heresies and false doctrines, all right, false breakdowns, because the Spirit of the Lord, all right, wasn't, sent down to give us the true understanding of this book. That's why when the Lord sent, the Spirit upon High Priest Abba Bivens, all right, that's when the knowledge got, given to us. But as, before, our provisions came on the scene, all right, the true understanding of what this book, wasn't given. All right. So this is why, we had to go off, the breakdowns that our enemies told us what this Bible was talking about. And this is why it's a lot of confusion that has been given, all right, especially from entities like the Roman Catholic Church, which is one of the false witnesses and those one of the unclean frogs that the scriptures speak about. All right. It says, "And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, Read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed." And this is why, all right, when it comes to, certain breakdowns, especially when it comes to the book of Revelation, all right, and the book of Daniel, all right, a lot of these Christians, all right, will tell you that they don't have the understanding because the book is sealed. Well, we understand that that's not true, because we're in a point to where Yahweh Shai broke those seals, man. All right. So, we have been given the true understanding. All right. This is Revelation chapter 5, verse 1. "And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within on the backside, sealed with 7 seals. And they saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, Who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof? And no man in heaven, nor in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. And I wept much, because there was no man, because no man was found worthy to open the book, to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon." All right, and this is why I was speaking about, that period to where you saw, knowledge pretty much was hidden in the earth for a period. All right. You saw, during the things like the Dark Ages, all right, leading into the Renaissance era, all right, there was a point to where the scriptures, all right, was sealed to us. So this is why I said you have all these, false breakdowns and false prophets come out trying to break down the book, but nobody could break those seals except for Yahweh Shai. Verse 5, "And one of the elders saith unto me, Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof." So this is why I said, hey, when Yahweh Shai went on the cross and gave up the spirit, all right, that broke the seals to where the understanding was given back. And then, like I said, we had, the spirit eventually come upon, Abba Bivens, to where he began to put the knowledge of Israel back into the earth. All right, so we're in a time now. It's like I said, Daniel 12, to where knowledge has increased, man. All right, this is Daniel 12 and 4. "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." And that's the point that we're at now, to where all these things have been made known unto us, man. All right, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has left, no stone unturned as far as when it comes to prophecy. All right, because in the end days, man, the elect will know 100% of, the truth as far as dealing with salvation, so we can know what needs to be done so that we can be delivered, man. This is why, people hate when we say this, but yes, we here at Great Millstone have 100% truth, and we know that because the scriptures tell us. All right, 1 John 2 and 20, "But ye have an unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things." And we know all things, all right, prophetically. Okay, now as far as how things are going to be in the kingdom, all right, we can't give you full-on details of exactly how it's going to be, the how the new bodies are going to be made up and all that. But we do know, as far as prophecy pertaining to America's future, all right, how this place is going to end, as the scriptures talk about, is going to go up in flames, because the end result for Esau Edom's kingdom is thermonuclear destruction, which is going to come via World War III, which is mentioned in the scriptures. Nuclear war is mentioned in the scriptures, and the catalyst that's gonna be done before World War III is officially kicked off is the mandation of the mark of the beast. All right, that time of testing. Okay, this is Revelation. It's like it 3 and 10. Revelation chapter 3 verse 10. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth." And what's that hour of temptation, man? All right, the mandation of the MOTB. All right, reading the NLT, it says, "Because you have obeyed my command to persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world to test those who belong to this world." And what we're going to see is those that belong to this world are going to take that MOTB, because that's the true testament, all right, for those that belong to this place. Because as we understand, all right, it says, the quote that was made that, in order for you to get into the new world, to the new world order, all right, you're going to have to take a Luciferian oath. And what does that Luciferian oath consist of? You taking that MOTB, man, all right? Because that MOTB is a sign to let the devils know that you have chosen him to become your God, man, all right? So this is why, as you heard that Christian say in that video, all right, hey, if you don't know, what's being presented before you, you're going to walk right into that snare and you're going to be taken, all right? This is why you have to have the understanding to know, what is happening, all right? This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. It says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast." And what's the image of the beast, man? All right, this continuation of the Roman system, because we know, the Rome is the beast, all right, and what we see this system being set up is a continuation of that Roman system, but it's a technological system that's being made, man, all right, and he's trying to get all the people on the earth to bow to that. It says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast shall both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." All right. And so if you refuse to take that mark, to pretty much, be a part of the new system, okay, it says you're going to be killed. All right. And that means that you're going to be cut out from society, because as we see, everything is going to a more, technological stage. So as we get, closer and closer, you see Esau mandating, AI to be a part of everything. Okay, he's pushing for more smart technology to where we're gonna see things like 15-minute cities. All right, you can't, shop, without, taking part in the system, which we're gonna get into in a minute. Everything is pushing towards this new technological way of life. All right. Digital tracking, a social credit system, a social credit score. All right. So everything is going to be under surveillance. This is what, like you heard him say, man, AI is being presented this way for a reason, because just as we see the system that is being, used in China, you remember Klaus Schwab, the former head of the WEF, he said that China was a preview of how the whole world was going to be, because we know over in China is where they do a lot of testing of how they eventually want, to do over here in America, because China, places like China, Dubai, all right, those very similarly mirror the society here in America, all right? So these things are testing grounds to show exactly what we're going to see happen in the future, and everything is moving towards that way, all right? To the point. Verse 16, "And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." Now, let's go into this, because like I said, you have to know these things, man, as we continually go into this, man. Hey, these breakdowns have to continue to get hit ad nauseum so that you understand exactly the position that we're in. All right? So this is the word causeth. This is G4160. All right, we're going to go down to definition G. It says to render one anything, to i.e. make constitute or appoint one thing, to appoint or ordain one that. So ultimately, causative means to pretty much mandate. As we see here, the word constitute, it says to be a part of a whole, give legal or constitutional form to an institution established by law. So this RFID technology is already on the books, all right, to pretty much be made mandatory, all right. And we saw that, all right, going back to when Obama was in office, all right, the MOTB technology was already being introduced under the Obamacare, and things are just being added to that, all right. So as we says, going back, Revelation 13 and 16 again, and he called of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, which leads to this picture, okay, because as we're going to get the root words, all right, these are things that you have to know, like I keep saying, all right. So the root word for this word mark, it's like not root word, the Greek word for this word mark is G5480, which is charagma. As you see here, charagma, it says an engraved mark or sign, a badge of bondage, all right, because that charagma is that chip, all right, that they're going to put inside of you, man. That's the sign that you are pretty much saying that you belong to the beast system, you belong to Esau, all right. As it says here in the blue letter, of the mark stamped on the forehead or on the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist, which we know there's not just one Antichrist, man, all right. That's why I said, it's a lot of false doctrine out there, all right. And Antichrist is anybody that goes against, all right, the sayings of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It's like the scriptures say, there are many Antichrists, man. Anybody that's speaking against the true doctrine that Yahweh spoke of is considered an Antichrist, man. As we see, it's a lot of these false prophets within the circumcision and out of it, all right. So that's the first word. Now let's go into the root word of charagma, which goes back to the word charax, which says a pale or a stake, a palisade, a rampart. It says, go into the picture again, charax, it says a stick or a stake similar to a bite of a snake, all right. So like I said, man, we just continuing to go into these words, and I'm expounding on some more, all right. So then the last word, root word, is G1125, which is grapho, all right. And it says to write with reference of the form of the letters, to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment paper, or other materials, all right. Definition D, to write to one, i.e. by writing in a written epistle to give information, directions, all right. So the point being, okay, this charagma is going to register you to the system, all right. And so, John the Revelator saw, this prophecy, pretty much in the vision, and he gave us the warning to what to look for this, all right. So let's go back to the scriptures, and I'm gonna break it down. Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, and free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And this is a part of the scriptures that give, is like a dead giveaway, if you have the eyes to see, to what this MOTB is, man. That mystery has been revealed unto us, man. Okay, as we see, without that mark of the beast, you will not be able to partake in the world to come, man. All right, you're not going to be able to participate in the world to come if you don't have that mark of the beast. This is why, like you said, you're seeing hand scanners being put in every store. All right, you're seeing, certain places like Amazon Fresh, certain Whole Foods, and different things, to where it's pretty much no registers, man. You walk into the store and you're automatically placed on the system, to where the moment you put things into your cart and you walk out, you pay without scanning anything, man. Because this is a part of the system, to where it's going to be made mandatory, to where if you don't have that chip, you won't be able to buy or sell, man. Like that, it's various clips from different movies and whatnot that show this, man. All right, but why are you other Israelites not talking about that? All right, verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600, 6, which we know, breaking that down, is Chi Stai Sigma. All right. So going back to this, all right, John the Revelator gave us the warning what to look for as far as this MOTB. All right. That word mark goes back to Karagma. All right, it says, which is an engraved mark or sign, a badge of bondage, which is that chip. Okay, that little grain of rice that's going to be put in your right hand or in your forehead, which we see being pushed. Okay, this is why Elon Musk is in Trump's cabinet. All right, because he's pushing the brain chip. All right, so you have the chip for the hand, you have the chip for the brain. All right, and those miracles are being pushed as well to look for that. All right, so when you go into the root word of Karagma, it goes back to the root word Karax. It says a stake or a stick or a stake similar to the bite of a snake, and this is what you look for when you see that in Chi Stai Sigma. Let me actually pull it up. And that should be on here. Let me see. All right. So jumping down to the point. So this is ridingthebeast.com. All right, and it's breaking down the MOTB. Okay, so this is how you see here, Chi Xi Stigma. All right, so we see Chi is that X, which means 600, and what do we see? All right, that X, is that not what Elon Musk changed the name of Twitter to? Okay, Xi, all right, as you see, is that snake looking symbol. All right, and we see that, you know, the 3 lines, we see that in Tesla's logo. All right, which is another sign to show you that Elon Musk is a big forwarder of the MOTB. And then stigma. All right, so did we not see that same character in Karax? All right, showing you that that's that snake. All right, which is you know, going into that needle that will implant that chip inside of you. All right, and then we have grapho, which is the final root word of that word mark, which goes into write with reference to the content of the writing. All right, so your information is going to be put on that chip. This is why they're talking about, you know, you won't. We're no longer going to need cell phones. We're no longer going to have to walk around with wallets, because all your information is going to be on this chip. Okay, your money, your bank account, you know, your medical information. All right, everything that you know that we're required to have in this place, okay, is all going to be written on your chip. All right, and it's going to be in you, not on you anymore, man. All right, because this is the warning that we have been given from John the Revelator, man. And this is why at the end of the day, you have to know what, you know, what these things are. So going back to the brother's video title, you better be able to identify when it's made mandatory. Listening to the wrong guys, you are cooked. And this is why this is important for you to know what's up, man. All right, so I'm gonna leave it there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to close it out by giving all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect. Until next time, I say shalom.